Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. This time, this is a bigger podcast looking at what has happened in the last 1 week. I'm sure every one of us are not over this whole series defeat, and everybody has a
Mhm.
lot of stuff to get out of it. Whether it's talking about the whitewash against New Zealand, whether it is the future of Indian cricket team regarding with a couple of the big players and the coach, and regarding about the DGT, what's going to happen. So, without further ado, well, I like to introduce the guests. So, as usual, my usual suspects, Ajit and Prithvi. And this time we got three other guests. My next to me is my brother Anshul, and we got Randi, and we've got Pranav. So, without further ado, we'll start the podcast by asking a simple question. What was your reaction initially? Because I'll tell you mine. I was frustrated with the way Indian team played. After second test match, I thought, okay, maybe India will make a comeback again in the third test match and maybe show some pride. But the way we lost, I lost my cool and lost my frustration. I mean, I had endless conversation with Ajit itself about it. And we have ranted a lot, and I couldn't believe it. So I'll ask this question to Randir first. What is your reaction to this abomination of a series defeat?
Yeah, basically, what I was trying to say was, see, uh, from the first test only, I hope that we'll come back after the humiliating defeat, I would say, from the first test. But I guess we didn't learn the lesson. We we continued with the same mistakes. I felt it was the overconfidence that led us to this defeat. That is the only thing that I can see. Nothing else. There was no problem with the technique of the batsmen or the bowlers, or maybe some bad luck. There some bad luck, I would say, but most of it was just overconfidence from our part. And it's just shameful. It's shameful, right? Uh, you would not expect such things from the number one side in the world. Uh, I have no words, man. I seriously have no words.
Well,
I too
You want to go
was,
next, Pranav?
Pranav, you want to
yeah,
go?
can I
Go
go
for your
next?
Yeah,
Yeah.
response.
sure. I mean, I was also like shocked, seriously. I was like, what guy? Literally, that kind of mood it was when I saw those results. Sure, there was no doubt there was quite some bad luck involved, though. There was an unfortunate amount of bad luck involved, especially with the first test, though, because you see the
Yeah,
conditions were very unusual. That no matter how much India tried to bat well, New Zealand bowlers were on that length, were
yeah,
on that zone on that day, unfortunately. But the way they tried to subvert that, try to get a result, try to put a result that was in their favor was something really, really good. So they did attempt to fight back, but unfortunately, with the first test, I cannot blame them at all. I think they were kind of faultless
yeah,
with that.
totally.
When it came to the second test, though, okay, when you are in your conditions, when you're in your home turf, you want to typically get that advantage of trying to put like spinning pitches or pitches, that like a road, like what Pakistan did previously, with concurrencies against England as well. But what happened was from day one, the ball started turning, started spinning, gripping, and also had a lower bounce than what you would sometimes see in Pune. Of course, Pune has had spinning tracks, has had low bounce. I think the most recent that I remember was the Border Gavaskar Trophy 2016-17 match, the
Hmm.
first test match
Yeah.
in Pune.
That
But
is a lot, 6 wickets
this
there.
was yeah, but this was unusual in the sense that it was extreme. It was starting to spin a lot from day one. And the thing was that New Zealand, like I'll be honest here, New Zealand, the players in the team, right? Not all of them are excellent spinners. There are some good spinners, but not all of
Hmm.
them are as excellent as
Exactly.
Indian spinners in pitches where it only slightly turns. Because
Hmm.
all Indian spinners, like let's say R Ashwin, just need slight turn, right? Just need a slight turn to extract a lot from it. And Ashwin kind of relies not just on the spin or so, but relies on many other factors. It's the same with Jadeja, same with Akshar Patel, and with many other spinners within the Indian team. But what happened was because the pitch started to as a spin so much from day one, the New Zealand spinners also came into contention, especially a person like Santner. So there's one thing that I
Hmm.
have to say about Mitchell Santner. He is extremely accurate. He's on that stump to stump line, and he always bowls just shy of most of his balls. If you take a look, he bowls just shy of the off stump. It's like on the fourth stump line, just on that corridor of uncertainty, almost usually. Sometimes they do not spin, which can kind of get to LBW. Sometimes they spin, which can get an edge or it can get bowled. So he has that ability to, kind of get the batsman beaten on the outside. It's so predominantly. He's excellent when it comes to, being dead focused on his target. He's really excellent. And that pitch kind of helped him out a lot, really well. But that also brought Washington Sundar in the first and third innings. That the balls that he bowled, especially to like Rachin Ravindra, that was classic. And Washington Sundar is not known as a really good off spinner. He's a good off spinner, but that kind of showed a lot of promise from him within his first test match after 3 years. But but the whole encapsulate. So what I was trying to encapsulate within what I said for the second test was it brought all the spinners into play, regardless of whether how good you were when it comes to your bowling ability, right? And that kind of you literally handed over the advantage to New Zealand as well, especially to a guy like Santner, right? He has a high release point, he's highly accurate, dead, and the pitch is spinning so well for him, that's it, gone. You kind of handed it over. India did try to attack in its fourth innings, especially Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shubman Gill. I think especially Jaiswal, he was like on fire literally. I think it was 77 or 65 or so. He batted so well, but that ball from Mitchell Santner, just that ball, just that uncertainty, got him off and then it collapsed. Okay, fine. It was very disappointing that New Zealand, India lost the series. You have to give credit to New Zealand as well for having won the series because they came out from an extremely rough patch as well, from Sri Lanka and so on. So, okay, fine. Give credit to them. And I felt India will bounce back. But the way they played the third test, okay, at least the second, it was horrible. At least in the second innings, they did get a bit of a lead. And they did capitalize in the bowling as well. But the fourth innings was so bad. It took Rishabh Pant to bat so audaciously and to nearly get them over the line. But once he got out, that was done. But I felt that the way Rishabh Pant got out was also not something so satisfying, honestly speaking, because you are saying the bat was hitting the bat, and you're saying that the sound comes with the bat. It's not clear at all. And technically, the cricketing laws that was stated by the MCC, technically state that if a batsman, when it comes to the ruling of the wicket, if there is no conclusive evidence that a batsman has actually edged the ball, hit the ball, deemed with the benefit of the doubt, that goes to the batsman. So literally, because of the fact that it was not conclusive at all, like you can hear sounds, but it's not really coming from the bat, or you do not know where it's coming from. I think he should have been given that benefit of doubt in that case, though. I think that would have been better. Not saying that it would have changed the outcome, but
was the on-field call not out?
Yeah, it was on-field was not out. The on-field call was not out.
So I think we talk about the rules.
So
can we also say that the rule is that you cannot overturn a non-field decision unless you have conclusive evidence, right? And they didn't have it at that point, right?
They didn't even have it, it wasn't completely clear as well, the evidence. What evidence? He said that I could hear the sound and I therefore gave him out. But the on-field call was not out. So the umpire had to overturn.
I've read a report somewhere that that Hawkeye system which they've got, apparently they haven't bought it or something like that. And it has
I don't think so. I think
there were reports of that. Regarding that Hawkeye system, that hotspot, whatever those systems were there, they were not there for the whole series.
No, I don't. I think that's a rumor. I think we have to keep that literally away. I don't think that kind of influenced so much, though. It was mostly the TV umpire's judgment at that time.
What was it?
No. Every series.
But then why didn't this series have it?
No, I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Even if the Hawkeye system was faulty, you would expect that maybe at some point it would have worked against New Zealand too. Why would it only work badly against India? So this clearly has to do more than just Hawkeye. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, these things happen. See, it could have gone either way, right? And it happens during such matches. And I'll tell you one thing. I might get cancelled for it. I was watching the fourth innings of the third test match, right? And we were 6 or 7 down. And I have a group chat, right? So over there, I texted that if India wins from here, it would not be like, I would feel bad for New Zealand because they did such a good comeback, right? Like 140 or something odd runs, and they did a brilliant comeback. So that is why and we played so bad. We played so bad, right? 7 wicket downs for 100 odd runs, right? So I just told the guys that if India wins from here, I would feel very very bad for New Zealand. They deserve to win there because they did play very good, right? And we did play very 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 bad. More than
Need to
them
be
playing
careful.
good, we played very bad, I would say, right? It was not like we were caught off guard that the pitches were spinning or something. We made the pitches that way, right?
Yeah.
We should not have been surprised by these pitches. Apart from the third test match, I don't think that uh, in either of the first test match we were in the lead after the game was halfway done, right? In both the games we were behind after the game was halfway done. Only in the third
Yeah.
test match I think we had the lead of 50 odd runs, not even 50
140 odd runs.
as far as
140. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, he
no, no,
wants to
no.
say something.
After the game is
No,
halfway
I
done.
mean,
I'll just
yeah,
just
no, it was
Yeah, go ahead.
around the.
see.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
think if
sorry.
you look
30
at
odd runs.
yeah, so if you look at the
27,
second,
27 runs.
right, like
So,
if you look at the
Sorry.
second test,
Yeah.
like the fourth innings, right, when India was playing and they were trailing behind New Zealand, right?
Hmm.
See, there were instances that if when Ravi Ashwin and Jadeja were playing, they could have actually like chased the target, but then we just fell short because of Satner's bowling. Because if it
Yeah.
weren't for Satner's accurate bowling, right, or else we could have actually done
And
something in that match if we could have come
and
back.
see,
It's just like
Yeah.
I think I think we made the same mistake consistently throughout the series. Like, for
yeah,
Yeah.
example, in every match, one wicket fell, and then a series of wickets fell. Right? In every match,
Collapse.
not in every match, in every inning, there was no there wasn't multiple 50 odd run partnerships. Right? There was one big partnership of 100 odd runs or 80 odd runs, but there wasn't like two or three 50 plus run partnerships. One wicket fell, and then there was a series of wickets in
yeah.
every inning. Not even the match, in every inning. So
every
we didn't
innings.
learn
Yeah.
basically.
See, the batting in this series, it was an abomination.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To be
yeah,
honest, the
I
batting in
wanna.
this series
Yeah.
was literally an abomination. They could have done something better in this series. But
easily.
see, I think middle order, there has to be a question. The opening, we don't know. We have to see. Just recent
Yeah.
reports yesterday,
Hmm.
they,
What?
between Rohit, Gautam Gambhir, and
Ajit Agarkar.
Ajit Agarkar, the whole
What
BCCI
happened? Yeah.
had a 6 hour review meeting after what
Yeah.
what happened after the series. So like there is something had to be said. If they're holding this much,
I
there has to be.
wanna. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ajit, go,
I want to
go,
say
go.
a bit about. Can I just say one thing about the batting, and
Yes,
then
yes,
we
yes,
can
yes.
come another.
Go,
Yeah,
go.
you know, of course, Pranav touched on a lot with regard to the bowling, and I want to say a little bit about the batting. See, obviously India's batting was not good enough because we lost the 3-0. But I think I think what is really missing in this batting lineup was the absence of a batter who could occupy the crease for a long time and could
Yes.
grind out the opposition. He's just going to say, I don't care how much runs keep coming. I'm just not going to get out. I'm going to prolong this game. You see, I think test matches have evolved to a point in which before, even in the 2000s, test matches used to go on for 5 days. Many more time, sometimes more often than not, you won't even get a result. Now, test matches have changed. We have the influence of white ball cricket has come in. Test matches, they get over in 2 days, in 3 days. Almost always we see a result. I think here is where the Indian team, in terms of batting, is falling behind. We are not able we're not able to adjust well enough to this new form of test cricket in which batting you have to go like very fast, which is actually not a problem. We can play our own game if you want. But then again, we are trying so hard to adjust to this new aggressive batting approach, forced aggression. And if you observe in the previous series, every new batter that came in to bat for India, they were being, it almost looked like as if they're forcing themselves to attack from the first ball. Now,
yeah,
attack from the first ball is a bit of a exaggeration. I'm pretty sure they would have taken some time, but they were looking to attack, like a lot of aggression. We Being aggressive is good, but I really wish we had a batter who could soak in the pressure, who could occupy the crease and bat for long. We saw that in Sarfaraz Khan. We saw it. We saw it in the Rishabh Pant. But I really wish we had one more batter who could have done that higher up in the order. Somebody like Pujara. I'm not saying you have to bring the Pujara back into the side, but I'm saying is if we had somebody like Pujara, who would come in before Kohli at number three and would just occupy the crease, would just not let the game run away. Okay, you're losing. Okay, you may be 140 runs behind. You may be losing wickets on the other end, but I'm just not going to get out. I'm going to hold on to this grease. Now, that's the kind of batter which I really wish we had. India missed that kind of batter for a longest of time. I mean, for this like series, and I have been observing this Indian batting for some time. We all have. I think there were issues with this batting even before. We were suffering collapses.
Yep.
We saw a very big collapse in that match against South Africa in South Africa. Many a times in the England series in India also, we saw times in which our batting order was crumbling against them. We were losing wickets very quickly. We were not as good as, of course, the top players when we had Sachin, Sehwag, Ganguly and Robert. We weren't as good as them, but you could see the quality was gradually coming down. The thing was, every time the batting wasn't good enough, our bowlers came in, they stepped in, and then they got the job done, and we used to win the match. So it didn't come up as a big issue. But I think this all these issues got exposed in this like series. In just like a balloon just burst. The whole batting just
Yeah.
came down. Yeah, go ahead, Ajay. Sorry,
Yeah.
go
Well,
ahead.
Rajat,
This
let's
is
let Rajat talk. Let Rajat.
Ajay, yeah, it's been waiting for a long time. Go ahead, Ajay.
Yeah.
yeah.
First of all, I mean, everybody pretty much made their own points. I'm leaving. I'm left out of anything to say. But okay, first, initial reaction as such, it's abomination, as we all said. I mean, that is even an understatement, to be honest with you. That's more than an abomination. I don't know what I've seen. No, this was something that it was a long time coming. I personally felt that, this is my opinion, that this the way that the Indian batters have applied themselves against spinners, the quality in which they do it, or the approaches that they would usually do it, has gone down significantly. For me personally, I feel that it has started a lot since 2020 or 2021, that England series where England came to
2014,
India. Hmm?
2014, 2014.
No, no, no. That's my personal opinion. That I'm saying
Okay.
that that's how where I felt. But
Yeah, okay.
of course, according to Adri, that was when since 2014, since 2014, where India actually went to England. They lost the series after being up 1-0. They lost the next three, and they basically didn't. They were not able to play against spin, specifically against Moeen Ali, who was a part-time spinner, not even a full-time bowler. Then he was recently or somewhere he made his debut. He was a part-time spinner. So you basically call your batting order has failed against a part-time spinner in England conditions, not even Indian pitches, in England conditions. So that was when that was like a start, or a like somewhat of a start of something where it gradually went down, but it wasn't so glaring. Of course, there have been collapses that happen. The 2016-17 Border Gavaskar Trophy, when Australia came to India, as Prithvi mentioned, the first Test match in Pune. Even in that Swift slow turner of a pitch, Steve Smith hit 100, or Steve Smith hit 100, and basically Australia took they were under control and what have you not, and even though India won the series from then, but still that still happened, and then I personally felt that since 2021 against England, when England came to India in Chepauk, that when England actually hit like 650 odd runs or something, and then in response India managed to score just half the runs. And against, I mean, especially the one in that pink ball test match, you're giving a fifer to Joe Root. I mean, I don't know if that is, if I don't know what to say about, I don't know what you would say about that, giving a fifer to Joe Root. It has become a joke now in such a way that you've seen ICC test match rankings where Joe Root is listed as an all rounder. Not as a batter, he is ranked as an all rounder in ICC test match rankings. That goes to show you
All thanks to India. All
the
thanks to India.
quality of players playing against spin, grinding out and playing, digging it in for a while, especially for a team like India. Yeah, like Randir also mentioned, it was in the Indian cricket team were basically so overconfident, and they were like, we have that much talent, and we can get through. I mean, even the greatest of the great players have technical flaws. You still need to address that. You still need to work on the game, or you should also play have some match fitness, because you haven't played test matches for like 8 months. So most of the playing 11, some of the players there, like Jaiswal, Gill, Washington Sundar, they played first class cricket. They played the Duli Trophy, they played the Irani Cup. So they've had some domestic games in at least in their bag, and they at least played some of them. Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, your senior players haven't played Ranji or first class match for a decade, essentially. So I mean, those are some concerns, and just the way that I mean, it's I saw even with some of the highlights I saw, I didn't see the whole series. I saw the first Test match, and then I was like, I'm done watching it. And then when I saw some highlights, I did see a lot of technical flaws that was like very noticeable and glaring, and it's something that it's not something new. It was like very reoccurring, especially for Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. The way they play
Mm-hmm.
spin in Test matches, their technique doesn't look that solid anymore. Especially for Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli has struggled massively against spinners the recent few years, even in white ball, not just red ball, white ball also. Rohit Sharma, I mean, which was so alarming and shocking that earlier this year in January or February, that was when England came. India, I mean, Rohit Sharma had 2 centuries in the series. He played well against spinners. He applied himself. He actually had innings where he grinded out. He was there as an opener, staying there, pretty much, staying there, sticking, trying to be there for other players, and let others attack and all that. We've seen Rohit Sharma do that. So I don't know, all of a sudden, like within 8 months, you see this from Rohit Sharma, and we are questioning his spot in the team, let alone him as a captain. I mean, we have a lot of questions for Rohit Sharma as a captain, this tactics, and I've had a lot of ranting conversations with Adrit. Let's say that I am not a biggest fan of Gautam Gambhir as a head coach. If I'm being very nice, I don't want to go overboard.
Go,
I
Randeep,
don't want
go,
to.
go, go. You have something to
Go
say?
ahead,
Go,
man.
go, go.
Yeah, I fully agree. See, he thought that it would be a piece of cake, right? While he was outside, he used to comment on every person, Ravi Shastri and Rahul Dravid and so on, right? He thought that he knows everything, and being a mentor of an IPL team is equivalent to being the head coach of Indian cricket
By
team.
the way,
But
he was not
now
the head
he's
coach of KKR. Let everyone get it clear. He was not
yeah,
the head coach of
mentor.
KKR.
I,
He
I
was
said
just the mentor.
he
Yeah,
yeah,
mentor.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly what I said. That being the mentor of an IPL team is equivalent to, he thought it would be equivalent to being the head coach of Indian cricket team, and now he's getting the taste of it. I don't
I,
think
I
that
just want to. I just want to add this though. So I just want to ask a question to everyone. Who was the head coach of KKR, the IPL winning team? Who was the head coach?
uh, not
Chandrakant
sure
Pandit.
about the head coach.
Yeah, I think it was
Uh,
Chandrakant
Chandrakant
Pandit.
Pandit.
Chandrakant Pandit.
Chandrakant Pandit, yeah.
So he was the
Oh.
head coach. So Gambhir got this job because he won an IPL title in KKR as being a part of a coaching
yeah,
staff. But he was
yeah,
not the head
yeah.
coach. So how come Chandrakant Pandit was not even mentioned as a candidate for being the head coach, and why all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, out of left field, Gambhir came in? I didn't
I think
understand that.
there's
But
can I?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
go, go,
sure,
go.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go,
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
go.
okay. So I know it does sound, implausible, that an IPL winning coach like Chandrakant Pandit has been ignored from the Indian team. The fact that he could have been considered was something you could debate on. But there's one thing, that I have to say about Gambhir. Although, the recent performances have been a bit of a debacle, especially within the test team, the Gambhir has this mindset. He has a really like a winning attitude mindset. That mindset is really, really important for a team, especially for a team now in this state. You know, you have to
See,
But I'll
move,
add on
motivate,
that.
and come over.
yeah,
Having a winning mindset
but
is one thing, but being delusional is completely another thing.
yeah,
So
Okay.
go ahead.
exactly. I don't think that it has translated well into this team currently. What I see, we got like abominated in Sri Lanka also. He was the head coach there, and I would not have expected us to lose that series that badly, right?
Let me correct. They got
Like
swept there. They got swept there too.
yeah,
Not just losing. They got swept there
exactly.
also.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't think that it has translated so well. Maybe it has translated too well that we have become overconfident. We have started thinking that we can beat any side any day, which might not be the case, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Pranav,
I
you want
think,
to say something?
yeah, no, I think I can agree with the fact that the team has actually become overconfident. Definitely, I think there's no doubt that there has been some form of overconfidence. But I have to disagree with the fact that it has not translated. I think there has been some translation. You could see that clearly. Like literally over the past few months, you could see that from within all the three teams, the test, ODI. I mean, the ODI hasn't happened much, but you could see it in the test and the T20 teams. There has been a lot of positive effects.
But
But
overhyping it with a
T
shitty
in
PR team does
T20,
not
over,
help.
yeah,
he's
okay.
not part. He's not part of the
Overhyping is
coaching staff.
overhyping is one side, but I would
Yeah,
say that there was definitely overconfidence that kind of affected it.
yeah,
No
exactly.
doubt,
See,
All
overconfidence
of a
kind of
sudden, he
affected the team.
changed the
Yeah.
game. Woo, ah.
just Just think about it. We were
Gambhir
playing on
wasn't
day
being played.
3. See, in the third test match, it was day 3. We had 3 days, right? And we had to chase 150 odd runs. It was easily doable. All you had to do was occupy the crease. There was no need to rush it. It wasn't spinning too much. Like, it wasn't spinning crazy or anything. There was no uneven bounce or like maybe one odd ball in 10 overs would have some uneven bounce, but the bounce was consistent, and it wasn't spinning that much, right? All you had to do was occupy
Rohit
the
Sharma
crease and
shot.
you would have chased.
Rohit Sharma shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rohit Sharma Ashwin shot.
you know,
that's what I'm saying. That
Abomination.
after the
this
shot,
is why I'm talking about the mindset. That
Yep.
something is very very wrong with the mindset of this Indian cricket team. They think that they can slam their way out of a cricket match. They can just smack around the ballers and they'll win. This is not ODI cricket. They have to understand it, right? There has to be some level of patience while playing the Test cricket, and they need to understand it fast. Otherwise, we'll get annihilated in the BGT series also.
Ajaz Patel and Mitchell Santner became Muthai Muralidharan and Shane Warne in the series. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, and
See, Santner, I can still understand, right? Santner is
Oh,
still
Santner didn't
understandable.
even pick a 4-wicket haul in his Test career before
Yeah,
the
yeah.
series, man. I know he's
No,
good,
but
but he didn't even
see,
pick a 4 for in
yeah,
his career in Test matches.
no, I'm not
All of a
saying
sudden, he
he's
became Muthai
outstanding.
Muralidharan in India, man. Come on.
Yeah, see, I'm
this
not
is
saying he's
appalling.
outstanding. I'm just saying that he has the experience with him and all. But Ajaz Patel, he has bowled so badly. Even in the Wankhede Test, he was bowling short pitch and all. Only Rishabh Pant was able to capitalize on him. Only Rishabh Pant. He was
yeah,
bowling so bad, and we gave away most wickets to him. The- I don't know what to
Yeah.
say.
you know, the way in which, just one second, the way in which Rohit Sharma got out, right? Who was the bowler? I think it was Oruk, right? Uruki, am I
Willowrook.
not? Will Oruk. Okay, I'm sorry if I
Rook,
butcher
I
his
think it was Henry.
pronunciation.
Henry. I think
I
it's
think
Henry.
Henry,
Matt
yeah,
Henry.
okay, yeah,
Matt
that's
Henry.
Henry, yeah. So Matt Henry, he got him out, he got him caught. The next thing he did was that he pointed to his captain saying, I told you so. So they had literally planned it out the exact same way Investor planned it as how he got out. He was going to go short to him. They had a fielder deep, I don't know what you call it, is it deep off, long off,
Deep
long off
square leg.
behind you.
Square leg. Deep
Okay,
Yeah,
square
deep,
leg.
deep square leg,
deep
yeah.
square leg. Yeah,
So
yeah.
See,
they had a fielder in deep square leg waiting for it. The Rohit Sharma, he charged down the pitch and then he hit it through the middle of his bat. He had no power in that pull. He had no control of that shot. It went right to him. So it shows that
see,
whatever they had planned, Rohit Sharma just walked right into that trap. So yeah,
I
Bro,
know where
bro,
this problem started.
this is the same, bro. A different version of the Indian team used to bat out Shane Warne for the whole day. Shane Warne in Eden Gardens, where the
Exactly.
ball was absolutely turning around left, right. And now you're making Ajaz Patel and Wankhede look like Shane Warne, where everywhere else in the world he's just a measly left arm spinner playing international cricket.
couldn't
I
have
think
summarized it better.
I know
Perfect
this.
summary. That's what I'll say.
I know where this problem with Rohit Sharma started. It started in the last World Cup, right? The
Yeah.
2023
Yeah.
ODI World
So
Cup. This
I'd like to
intense
say
thing, and
something right now.
Yeah,
it
go
That
is
is
ahead.
what
so
I
Yeah,
really
overhyped.
want
tell
to
it.
Yeah,
see. Ever
that,
since that World Cup win, right? That's where like
Mm-hmm.
this overconfidence thing came out, right? So ever
exactly.
since like, Rahul Dravid, like, stepped down as being the Indian coach, and Gautam Gambhir came as being the Indian coach, and then that's what this whole this thing happened. But I think no, because see, I think we're all expecting too much from Gambhir. Okay, yes, he might be like, we all say he's delusional and all. No, no, I'm telling you. See, Gambhir is. If we were all talking about Gambhir's mindset, right? This guy is very result-oriented guy. That's why the way he presses out in the media, right? It's like we need to win. We are going to win this thing, and that. See, this is how the assumption of any like winner mindset, as we call it, right? See, this thing has been prevailed a lot. If you look back in when he was a captain in the IPL, even let's say one of the worst case scenario when he won in 2014 IPL, right? When he was a
Yeah.
captain, things were not going well in the start. It was only when at the point where at some games where they started going on a streak and went on to win the IPL. So I think maybe it's just a starting point, but we have to see what will come because
Yeah,
maybe
and
see we've all come out with like the overconfidence and overhype, So this is also like a Australia thing where like
yeah,
once Australia.
and
Yeah.
I also think what could be the reason is, see, we had a similar sort of coach with similar mindset earlier also. that is Ravi Shastri, right?
Abhishek.
And it worked well with Ravi Shastri because the captain that was there, Virat Kohli, he also had a similar attitude, right? I don't think that currently the coach and the captain has a similar attitude. I would say not the mindset. Everyone wants to win, right? The mindset is the same. I would say the coach and captain doesn't have the similar attitude. I think Rahul Dravid was more compatible with Rohit Sharma rather than I would say Gautam Gambhir is. Right? This could
Oh,
also
Pranav
be
wants
a
to say
reason.
something.
Yeah, Pranav, you can
Pranav,
say
go
it.
ahead, bro.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. That's something that I really wanted to say. That's something that I completely agree because Rohit is a person who wants to win, but his mindset isn't something like you see what Virat Kohli has. If you take,
Yeah,
especially if you take a
exactly.
look in this series,
Exactly.
the placements of his field placements were mostly
Field placement.
defensive. Even if they
Defensive,
were in
yeah,
a
very
position
defensive.
of lose, even if they were going to lose, his placements were so defensive that he's like literally giving up. Whereas if we
Yeah,
have seen
easy
Virat
singles were
Kohli,
given. Like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
from the
that's
start, from fourth or fifth over, they were giving away easy singles.
given
It
easy
was,
singles. But if you see
hmm,
Virat Kohli, even when he is good in the position of losing a match, his field placements have been crazy,
exactly,
excellent, and very, 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 very attacking. I'll take the
exactly.
2021 test in England, the fourth test in England. You
Mhm.
know, that fourth innings, 272 runs,
Yeah,
60 overs. He just said one thing.
That's the second test match in Lords, by the
yeah.
way.
Yeah,
Oh,
second at
okay,
Lords.
second match, yeah. They must feel hell out there,
Yeah, give
right?
them hell out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, give them
hell
hell
out
out
there.
there. We will
Yeah.
we will have very attacking field placements. Give the hell to them. Just make them feel like it's hell out there. And guess what? Within just 60 overs, they only scored 120 runs and they took all 10 wickets.
Yeah.
India
Honestly,
won
didn't
by
even see the
100
field
runs.
any time after
But
that.
you have to say
And
one thing
this
about
was
that.
no,
Just one second, yeah.
and this
Just one
was a
second
thing.
on this topic.
Yeah, yes.
Sorry,
Go,
and this was a
Rajat,
time
go ahead.
when Virat Kohli was also not so much informed with his bat, but his captaincy was so good on that time, till that time, until when
Mm-hmm.
people, the management, it was just the clear mismanagement, seriously, by
Man,
the
yeah.
upper people, especially Ganguly at the time. I have to kind of put like a full blame on Ganguly and those selectors at the time because it was the kind of not just wasted, they've kind of literally kind of put a lot of mental fatigue on Virat Kohli.
One
Literally
thing
at that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah,
yeah, I just want to add
Adit,
to
go
the
ahead, man.
point what Pranav has said is that as far as the captaincy tactics is concerned, Rohit Sharma gives me a similar feelings to what Dhoni does in Test matches. See, Dhoni is a great in white ball cricket. The trophies he has won is amazing, but in Test matches, we all know his the field settings what Rohit Sharma did. Like not putting slip field, sleep point, gully, and all that stuff. Rather than he's putting long off or long, which is defensive field setting and giving easy singles. Similarly, what MS has done that.
yeah. He
So
did that in later part of his career. I would add,
yeah,
uh,
exactly. So in my that's what
as
I
a test captain.
so it gives me that bit of and I question Rohit Sharma as the captain in the test matches, not because what happened on the initial 2 years of because he took over the captaincy around 2022, and it's because of all the points Pranav has mentioned with the politics, Gambhir, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel Rohit Sharma is not suited as a test captain in my opinion. He's not the right person. Yes, he's been
Mm-hmm.
2 years. He's won series in at home, and at South Africa has won the test match. He draw the series, but I felt and I thought that Australia will be the biggest test to see his captaincy, whether he's able to handle that pressure, the expectation, and all that stuff. But before that itself, and let's be real, guys. Before the Bangladesh series, we were top of the position, top of the rankings, the WTC finals. We need to just finish. We have to win only almost 6 to 7 test matches to seal the spot. Even before the New Zealand series itself, we have the best chance to win the test to qualify for the WTC finals. Who would have thought that a whitewash would have ever happened and that costed our chances in a test match in our
Yeah,
WTC finals? Nobody would have thought
we
about it.
Which
bottled
is
it
well
big
deserved.
time,
Which
I
is well
big
wanna,
deserved,
time.
by the
yeah.
way.
I want to mention one thing. The Adrit, actually, you're wrong. He did actually win in West Indies, if that matters. So, yeah, Rohit Sharma, he won a
Sure.
series in West Indies. Yeah. And look, I let Ajit comment. I think Ajit wants to say something, but just one thing. I actually say that as a small part of me that's almost glad that we are going to see a World Test Championship in which India is not playing. Now, of course, I'd love to see India play in the World Test Championship, but I think there are other teams out there which also deserve a chance at this. We have Australia who have already played once. I would really like to see Ben Stokes with England basketball come and
No,
play a
no, no,
World
no.
Test
England
I
championship?
don't
doesn't
think
deserve
they're
it.
gonna qualify.
England, they don't deserve it, bro. After the way they lost to Pakistan,
Well, after
Yeah,
what in Pakistan? Well,
yeah,
then may Pakistan can like come in. No, I think if England did qualify somehow, I think there's a good chance of winning because the World Test championship always happens in England. By the way, one question: why does it always happen in England? Why can't it happen somewhere else?
England is
Well,
the
I have a whole lot to say about the whole World Test Championship or what it is, but I have something separate to
Yeah.
say that. But before that, I want to say something. Before that, you mentioned, I mean, I'm sure he mentioned that Gambhir, the 2014 IPL and all that, they in 2014 they won two out of seven, two out of the first seven matches, and then they went on to win the IPL. See, one thing I'll make it clear for everyone to this. My issue is not with India losing the series. Losing series at home or away, it happens. It doesn't matter. At some point, streaks like that are meant to be broken. So that is not the issue. But the way
I know where
India
you're
lost
going with
it,
Sajid.
and the way
I know where
Gautam
you're going
Gambhir
with.
and the way Gautam Gambhir basically just talks himself out of it. He basically just
exactly.
talks himself in a way that India loses, absolutely being delusional, and him being the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen in the modern day as a coach. Because he's the same guy who preached on saying that in foreign coaches just come here and get money and go away. And what does he end up doing? The first thing that he does is hire Ryan Tendeshgata and Mone Mokal. No, I don't have anything to say about Mone Mokal and Ryan Tendeshgata. They're good coaches. They have done well in IPL. Agreed. And also have Abhishek Nair, who has also done well. Agreed. But my point is that you're the same guy who said that your foreign coaches come here and they just make money and leave. They don't do anything. And the first thing you do is hire your own coaching staff by having Ryan Tendeshgata and Mone Mokal. So I don't know what he was smoking. And then immediately like someone pointed out that he was basically saying that about Ravi Shastri. Oh, he didn't achieve anything. What makes him to say blah blah and all that? And ended up now you are facing now you had a situation where basically New Zealand have put paint right on your face, white paint on your face,
And
put cement putty just right on you. Basically put every one of you basically put every single one of the players in tombstones and basically said that you're done, you're cooked. They didn't. Let me put this way for you. Pranav said that we should give credit to New Zealand for the way they played. I agree with you, no doubt about it. But I want to make a comparison with that, with this one and the 2012 loss. The 2012 loss, I would say that we've all seen that. We've seen this, we've seen the 2012 loss, and we've seen the 2024 one. That is night and day. 2024 is like an abomination. That would have been the greatest thing that any international team has achieved, possibly in the modern era of actually maybe of all time, of clean sweeping India at home, not just winning, clean sweeping them.
yeah,
England
exactly.
won in 2012. England won in 2012. But that was after when you had Alistair Cook, Joe Root, who was
Kevin
just making his
Peterson.
debut, and you had Kevin Peterson. Kevin Peterson was someone who struggles against left arm spinners. You just put left arm spinner in the dugout, just write it out on a piece of paper, you put that in dugout, Kevin Peterson immediately will go out. He will get dismissed against left arm spinners. You had Pragya Noja and all that. Not only he played in those turning pitches, he went on to score hundreds. Especially the Mumbai Test match, which basically
Yes.
changed the series. Monty Panesar came in. Him and Mitchell Santner are pretty much the same case. Both of them are not the most deadliest bowlers in the world, deadliest spinners of all time. But still, they struggled to both of them. That is the one common thing. But even then,
Yeah,
and also you had Graham Swan, another phenomenal England spinner, one of the best off spinners for England, or also maybe of all time. Very highly underrated, a very skilled, also an all rounder as well. Let me point that out. A very skilled all rounder, I might add. So you had Graham Swan, a phenomenal spinner, and you had Monty Panesar. But England's batting lineup, look at that. They played out of their skins. They grinded it out. They dug it out. Alistair Cook, Kevin Peterson, and Joe Root just played some amazing innings in Wankhede and in Eden Gardens. And even in the last test match, in the fourth test match in Nagpur, where they basically drew the test match, Jonathan Trott played well, Joe Root played well. Pretty much the England batting lineup were good at the time. You can say that, okay, as bad as that was, at least the England batting order were good. Their bowling was also very good when they added Monty Panesar to give some assistance for Graham Swan, which he ended up ultimately being the difference maker. So in that sense, at least India showed some fight, and plus India were going through a
yeah,
rough transitionary phase and all that. This is okay.
yeah, exactly.
This is like an absolute dumpster, like a dumpster fire in a train wreck. like whatever it is, absolute.
Yeah,
I don't know. Basically skunks. If I want to say that, it is
yeah,
absolute
this loss
abomination.
is worse than this in many respects. First of all, in 2012 series, the teams were at least matched to some respect, right? It was not that very imbalanced between the two sides, right? Uh, they had similar sort of strength. If we compare this side, right, what we have currently and what New Zealand has, it our side is far superior. We have some great mix of experienced players, experienced spinners, right? They've been playing on these tracks for 15 odd years.
Ashwin
These two
Jadeja, yeah.
spinners, and some spinner who has been playing for 5 6 years comes in and absolute annihilates us. Like, it's just shameful, right? New Zealand has a much younger side. We have quite experienced side and few odd young players, but they're still very good young players, right? But mostly our side is very experienced and on papers I would say a much better side than New Zealand.
I
And
need to
still
add one
losing,
more
not
thing.
only losing.
There was no Kane Williamson for the series.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. That
Yeah.
we are far superior side on papers, and despite that, not only losing but losing 3-0, and not only losing 3-0 in every match we were outplayed. We did not even show the fight, right? So that's what hurts the most. Like, never once I felt like, okay, we have this game, except for the fourth innings of the last test match. Only then I felt that, okay, we can win this one, but we bottled that one also.
Mitchell Santner, who was the main strength for New Zealand in the second test, he didn't play the third test. They had to drop that guy. So they progressively
Shane Warne
made
of
their side
Wankhede played there.
weaker in a way.
Instead of him,
Yeah, they
the
made
Shane Warne of Wankhede played there.
Shane Wanamankade, yeah. So they dropped this guy. I mean, they dropped him, or maybe they had to let him go because he got a niggle or something. So they lost their number one spinner, the number one wicket taker from the second test match. They come to the third test and they still found a way to beat us. You know, in every single condition in Bangalore, they had overcast conditions, they had pacey wickets. And the wicket wasn't exactly pacey, but certainly was more similar to what they had in their home, what New Zealand had in their home, and so they beat us there. And they came to Pune, and then it went to Wankhede. In both the places, they had different conditions. They had more the turning and more the dusty wickets.
No,
In
the
every
India
single
team, which
condition
were
that they saw,
the India team who are playing right here in Australia, would have beaten New Zealand if you had just replaced that team and put the India A team and let them play against New Zealand.
I
They would
think
have
there is
swept them.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason why BCCI decided to cancel the India A team against the India team.
Because
I
the
think
India
they've been
A
too.
team would have destroyed the Indian senior team. That's why.
Yeah, India team
And
would probably
again,
beat India, actual
again
India
I'm
team.
sounding like a broken trumpet coming to the mindset thing again and again, but it is what has cost us this series. And just to show you why I'm saying this, see, after the second game loss, what did Rohit Sharma say? कि 12 साल में तो एक बार चलता है. नहीं
हाँ
भाई, नहीं नहीं चलता है. No.
नहीं
So
होता है
just
No, no,
imagine,
no, no.
just imagine
I'll correct that.
Virat Kohli
It
would
is
not
okay.
have said
It is
the
okay
same
to
thing.
lose.
Yeah.
No, it is okay to
In
lose. I agree with that. Like what Rohit Sharma said is okay, but you're not supposed to say that in public like that. That gives you a different
exactly.
that gives a different impression.
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly.
problem.
Someone like Virat Kohli would have never said it. Never. He,
I want to add something.
12 साल में एक बार होता है. He said that. He's like
No, yeah,
giving
he
up.
said
He's like,
that.
"Come on, hey
No,
guys,
I'll
I'm
tell you
not gonna
something.
give up." Throwing up hands in the air.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma's PR is on another level, to be honest.
Oh damn!
Let's
Yeah.
be
Oh, tell
real.
me about it.
yeah,
His PR is on another level in the sense
Are
that
you saying by that
after
you mean that people like him so much no matter how badly he does?
from
yeah,
ex-cricketers, no, ex-cricketers, journalists, fan base, you look at Twitter, people supported Virat Kohli blindly. And I'll tell you what,
see,
after that cardboard test against New Zealand, an article has been written in Cricket Force saying that Rohit Sharma changed the way Indian play. I'm like, Virat Kohli has done that. And after the first
Yeah.
test match where Rohit Sharma has admitted his mistake, that he lost the toss, we made a
Everybody was
bad,
like, yeah,
all that stuff.
the bottom
Indian
played
Express,
captain.
no,
Yeah.
Indian Express, a very recognized newspaper article. They said that author, I don't know for what joy he said, Rohit Sharma has done something that no other Indian captain has done. I'm like, idiot. Dhoni has done that 12 years ago after he lost Whitewashed in Australia. He said that I am the captain, I should be blamed myself.
I'll,
Idiots. It's on another level.
coming to this thing, I was talking about this, but I was interrupted earlier, so I forgot. So this PR thing, right? I was telling how this PR, I think, is one of the main problems. Is what has made Rohit Sharma a bad Test batsman. I'll tell you how. See, in the 2023 ODI World Cup, right? He began like attacking the bowlers from the go, right? And he succeeded. Credits to him, he succeeded. And from there on, this PR started that he's a selfless cricketer and intent player and all, right? It continued
Exactly.
to the T20 World Cup very well, right? But see, he has to understand that it can't go on in every single game, in every single type of match, right? Test match is a completely different ball game, right? So what I saw and what I've been seeing for the last 10 odd test matches that he has played in, right? This PR thing that has started, that he's a selfless he's a player with intent and all, right? It has continued in the test also, right? And we see a similar approach in test, which has been his downfall. That is the only thing that I can see. I don't see anything like, there are some issues with the pace, some issue with the in-swinging ball and all, but
Yeah.
that's rectifiable, and you get a good one, right? You can't do much about it. But the main problem that I see with him is this intent thing, right? The uh, the short selection, the picking up the wrong ball to hit and all, right? This is not ODI cricket. You have to understand. You have to take your time. It's not like you make 26 runs of 12 balls and like with 150 strike rate, and you say that I played a great inning because I played with 150 strike rate in test, right? That doesn't work.
No, no, no. I think
It's something.
I'll just sorry. I was
Can you go
speaking.
out,
Okay,
Pranay?
no, sir. Okay, no. So the thing is, I have to kind of disagree a bit with ODI cricket, because even in ODI cricket, it's a 50-over game. You still have to kind of, use pace your
Yeah,
innings and then
no,
kind of play well.
yeah, exactly what I said. See, this is what I said, that it you can do it over in ODI cricket and T20 cricket, because it's a 50-over game. You don't have that much seam and swing or spin for that matter, right? But
No, that's
and you
there,
don't have
but
the similar type of no, I'm not the similar thing, and you don't have the similar type of field placement, right, for a longer period of time. So there you can still go ahead and see, in ODI cricket, if you score some runs, the opposing captain will place a defensive field and all. It's not the same in Test cricket. You have a bigger margin of error in Test cricket, at least for the fielding side, right?
I think I
They can
want to
get hit for runs,
simply,
and
yeah. No, I think
yeah, sure.
I agree completely, but I think I want to sum it up here with Rohit Sharma's captaincy. I feel that he's literally mentally fatigued. Look at his shot selection. Look
Yeah.
at the way he looks like defeated to the core. I think this is also something that's affecting Virat Kohli, but I think it's affecting more so with his ability to score runs. And I think
Yeah.
in the case of Virat Kohli, he's contributed a lot for a long. Both Kohli and Rohit have contributed for a lot. But I think, for the past few years, whatever happened with Kohli, I think it was a bit unfair, that stress that he's had and so on. But he did come back, actually. He did give a good comeback even till the mid this year. And I think if you look at the first test within the second innings, he played really, really well until to a really unlucky dismissal to Glenn Phillips. In fact, if you
Yes.
take a look at many of Kohli's dismissals, it has mostly bordered on unluckiness.
Yeah,
There
exactly,
were
exactly.
some that were very
Totally agree.
bad, like the second test, the
Yeah,
the
that full
slot
toss.
sweep to the full toss.
Yeah,
That was,
shots.
but that kind of showed how bad Kohli's mindset was at that time. That clearly showed.
Yeah,
And in fact, if you take a look, Kohli's difficulties with spin are now becoming more documented, but he's not gotten so much out to pace against the spin. Whereas if you see with Rohit, it's just been a complete, it's just been, how to say, it's been
Annihilation.
disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing to say the least, because he's just getting out at his own will, at his own happiness. He's just getting out and out and out. That kind of thing
exactly
it
what
has
I'm saying.
been.
That it's rarely
Guys,
about
there's
the
something.
shot. It's
There's
really
something.
about the technique, but more about the shot selection, right?
Yeah,
The shot that
it's
he's playing, he's getting out because of that, not because of his technique per se.
No,
yeah,
I'll
because
be. I will
Adrit
say
wants
this.
to say something. What is it,
yeah,
man?
yeah. Let
Adrit?
Ajay go ahead. Yeah,
I
sure.
disagree in kind of a bit, because I'll be honest with you. If you look at early phase of Virat Kohli's career, he was a good player of spin. He played Saeed Ajmal, he has played Ajanta Mendes, also Rangana Hera, those kind of bowlers really well. He uses his feet, he's using his defense is so good. Later on, his technique has changed a lot. He's becoming a really good player against fast bowling. And somehow he's not able to adjust his technique in subcontinental conditions where the ball turns a lot. And I felt that the amount of dismissal Kohli has been getting, or mostly straighter deliveries, arm ball, straighter on the pads and all that stuff, a lot in this getting more and more repetitive. Sometimes the ball turns away. That happens. Sometimes the ball turns away. It happens. But it's this dismiss the way he's getting out. It's getting more and more repetitive. So I could not say it's all about luck. We cannot just put it blamely on luck when the same dismissal is happening again and again and again. At some point or the other, we need to think about. At some point or the other, we have to question the technique and the mindset he has putting it. So that's what I felt. And moving
I
forward
think,
to
we'll
Yeah,
get
I kind
to
of
the future.
agree with both Pranav and
Yeah,
Adit here.
one
So
second.
I do think that many of the dismissal, at least in this test series, what I'm talking about for Virat Kohli, it has been most of the dismissal has been due to bad luck. But yeah, again, coming to what Adrit has said, yes, if you talk about it from a broader perspective, for the past 2-3 years he has been struggling with the spin.
yeah.
So yeah,